Kept you waiting, huh?
Hello, good morning, afternoon, or indeed good bloody well evening to all of our fantastic listeners to episode 85 of our gaming podcast, CrossCast. And to get things started, I want to introduce you to the two chumps I'm going to be chatting with alongside the Wheel of Cheese. Tyler, it is the enigma with a trouser full of talent. Oh, fuck that, because I said his name at the start. It is the enigma with a trouser full of talent, or is that just a Mars bar? No, it's good. It's some good stiff talent. It's Tyler. Sorry, mate. I really screwed the pooch on that one. It wasn't my best effort. It was fine. And it is the sulky Scot that talks more mince than anyone else. It is the labby head himself. It's Lewis. Hi, Lewis.
Hello. Hi there. How you doing?
You okay? Choking? Oh.
Yeah, not a bit.
Not a bit.
I've just never heard anyone say fantastic quite like that before.
You've got one AirPod in, mate. What's going on? Talk to me about it. Is it fashion?
It's a little bit. It's it's to keep it real down with the kids on the street and that.
Okay,
so like when I like to be able to hear myself. So if I've got these in, I know they've got like transparency and all that, but I like to have the one ear free and the other ear. I do it when I'm on calls at my work. The one in, the one ear free, just so when like my wife comes to the door there and goes, "You want a call? You want a call?" I'm going, "Shh, I want a call," because she can't hear the earpiece in my other ear, like or can't see it in my other ear.
Good way to start an argument.
It's all very well thought out. But yeah, I do the one. But when I listen to music,
you guys are too young to have one of those Bluetooth headsets when you're in the car, when you were driving. You had a Bluetooth headset on. Yeah, I was too young for that as well.
I'm only like a year older than you, Dad.
Ben will have had one though.
Yeah, probably. But blue. Yeah. What are those?
Wallop.
Yeah, like the weird looking things.
Yeah, like with the little flashing light on the end of it.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively like taxi drivers and probably Ben. Like, yeah, guys, yeah, what? Yeah, oh my god, marketing. That was the best.
I did have one.
Did you?
But just because I was like, oh, they look cool. Like in like 2006 or something. I'm sure I had something like that.
I remember
it didn't work properly.
Very first mobile phone I had one of those screw off and on antennas, and I got one from like the local market, like shit stall basically, where you could buy like electric pens that hurt people. But it was one that you could flick on and it lit up, and it had a Bacardi case on it.
Really?
Still yet to drink Bacardi, by the way. Don't think that's ever going to happen.
You've just unlocked a whole host of memories there about like really old phones and like just the crap you got on like Bacardi cases, because you used to get like Motorola whatever, with a blue rubber case that you could pull over. But you get like really awful like branded cases like Bacardi.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, like some weird vodka.
And then you'd have like your newspaper. I don't know if you ever have newspapers where you live, Tyler, but newspaper, and in the magazines in the back of them they'd have like all the things you could purchase for like the little image that could go on the top of the phone instead of the Vodafone symbol. And I bought a pair of boobs off that and I couldn't get it off. It was like £4.50. One, my parents paid for the phone anyway, so they're going to find out about it one way or another, and I had to try and get my dad to take it off. I am the Bacardi fan, the Segway King, the Subway King, the Tyrone Mings, the Alpha and the Omega, the Danny Ward. We are the Cross Players, and we're now going to talk into your ear holes about our beloved video games, like Nintendogs or Earthworm Jim. If you'd like to support us, please give the podcast a sub on the service you're using. You can now rate us as well on Spotify if you've not noticed that already. Follow us on Twitter at The Crossplayers, or check out thecrossplayers.com/links to all of our content. Or if you're stark raving mad, hit up patreon.com/crossplayers and contribute as little as £2 to help us produce the show and get exclusive access to the show live. That's not really a thing anymore because I've still got it on the script. I need to delete that. You can just go to twitch.tv/crossplayers like you are right now if you are here with us live. Should we talk about... we are live. If you are live. Should we talk about news?
Yeah.
Want to talk about news? I'm not going to do the tune. Allegedly, we're all going to be rich, guys. Have you seen the article that I put in the notes and asked you to do your homework about?
I have seen it, and I've read a bit of it.
Yep, BBC News. PlayStation are being sued for $5 billion in the UK over rip-off games. That continues. Sony PlayStation is being sued for $5 billion in the UK over allegations it ripped off its customers with overpriced games and in-game purchases. The group legal action led by consumer rights could see almost 9 million gamers compensated, so we're going to be rich. It claims Sony PlayStation breached competition law, imposing unfair terms and conditions on games developers and publishers, and driving up prices. The game is up, said Miss Neal. Sony PlayStation has yet to comment. Probably won't comment when somebody's saying the game is up to you, because I wouldn't be taking that very serious. But essentially what this is saying is because Sony basically have a monopoly over their online game and are able to do their own markup on their store, it means that essentially you've been paying unfair prices that are bloated, and that's essentially what the challenge is. The estimated damages per individual in the claim is set to be between £67 and £562. I can see quite a few of us are probably on that higher scale.
Yeah, is that? I guess that's just on the basis of a per individual. So if you've bought, okay, I guess it's if you've, I don't know, if you've spent loads, I assume that there's maybe more there for you. But
I wonder how they've worked that out, like how they've come to those numbers.
Not sure. Probably worked on the average of everyone that's currently signed up to owns a PlayStation. Not too sure. It said here, PlayStation users will automatically have a claim if they 1. Owned a console since 19th of August 2016, 2. Live in the UK, 3. Purchased digital PlayStation games, 4. Made in-game purchases via the PlayStation Store. So I think it kind of cites here like the Apple and Android operating systems as well, and people having an issue with those, saying that you don't have any fair competition laws that are in place to kind of say, well, if you're on an Apple phone, surely there should be other stores within that phone to give you the diversity of choice. Otherwise, Apple can force what they want down your throat, or PlayStation can, or Android can, or whomever, as opposed to actually giving fair competition. So,
I thought I'd seen percentages of markup on here, but there isn't. Must have seen it somewhere else. Oh yeah, there is. 30% commission on every digital game and in-game purchase.
Is that about the same number as what Apple were talking about in the Apple Epic thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why Epic kicked off, wasn't it? But essentially, Epic tried to create their own mini store through Fortnite, was it?
Almost.
Yeah. So I think that's probably it pissed Apple off because they weren't going to get the commission. So, you care about this? As in, is it something that you're quite interested in terms of fair competition? It seems to be on the rise at the moment.
It's good to see it, like being a little bit more pro-consumer at a higher level, I guess. I mean, I've seen a similar case me before in that Xbox, you can buy codes for Xbox games digitally from whatever storefront, from whatever storefront you want, CD keys and stuff like that. You can't do that with PlayStation, to my knowledge, other than PlayStation Plus. Yeah,
considering Xbox's entire gambit is to push that online service, they certainly make it a lot more flexible, I think, for consumers to go, I'll go and get a game from elsewhere, or I'll pay 20 months worth of whatever it is to be able to get this many months of Game Pass cheaper than what I'd be able to do elsewhere. So, be interesting to see if it swings the other way. And it is quite interesting. All the articles on the right on that BBC article are basically about pay increases not happening, electricity bills going up, more issues around inflation, recessions are coming. So it is nice to see something.
Why is raw sewage being pumped into the sea? That's the one that's caught my eye.
Yeah, and then there's another one that says we get groped on nights out all the time.
Yeah.
Probably a very legitimate thing that I won't make a joke out of. So.
Yep.
And then see NASA's Mega Moon rocket in VR. I need to stop reading those. That's your follows. So I think in terms of the fight back, I'm quite curious to see it. I just don't really like a lot of the tones that that they're using within it. Because one, it seems very aggressive, and then two, a little bit condescending as well, which is a bit daft. So, continuing on, acquisition time, Tyler. I'm going to let you take this one, mate. If that's okay.
Yeah. So Embracer towards the end of last week.
Like we're actually going to acquire. Hey, it's time for acquisition time, and then we're all going to go around. We're all going to acquire someone.
Segment.
It's that time of CrossCast where we all like to get together, huddle around the campfire, and we acquire companies. Sorry, Tyler. Let me go.
It is acquisition time.
So yeah, Embracer Group last week bought another raft of studios, mostly sort of like smaller devs. The big notable one that I remember off the top of my head was Limited Run, which we talk about quite a bit.
Yeah.
I know quite a few of us have bought from them.
Some of us are still waiting for their copies of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World to turn up. No wonder he's so grumpy. Poor Mark.
But yeah, so I mean, in the article that I read, there's a really interesting pie chart out there that was at the bottom of it that kind of shows the distribution of studios among the big players now.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And there's been all of this kickoff, put it that way, over the last couple of months between Microsoft and PlayStation about the acquisition of Activision. And when you look at the way that this pie chart is distributed out in terms of volume of studios, Embracer Group are probably almost 40% of that.
Yeah.
You know what, Tyler? I'd like to apologise to you, because when you said there's a really interesting pie chart at the bottom of that article, I didn't believe you. And then I scrolled down, and I agree, that is a very interesting pie chart.
I've never seen it done that way, but it's quite interesting. And yes, it's like
Ubisoft are cheating. Ubisoft's companies, it's just all Ubisoft.
Yeah. Well, I just saw that there, Ubisoft Halifax, and I've just Googled it to go, is that Halifax in West Yorkshire? And it's not, it's in Canada. So that's not as sexy as like West Yorkshire, which just makes me laugh. Just a fella in a shed.
So anywhere they've got someone remote working, they're now allowed to call it a different studio.
Yeah. Sony's weirdly small, isn't it, when you look at it?
Yeah,
like
really
Microsoft's really stole the march on them now, I think, in terms of some of the things in there. Don't get me wrong, like the caliber of some of the studios that are sat inside of Sony, probably pound for pound are better than most of the other areas. But Take-Two as well. Like if anyone wanted to go and acquire Take-Two,
oh God,
that is just insane, the amount of things that they've got in there.
Yeah.
Admittedly, loads of rock stars, but still 2K as well. Zynga.
But I mean, the other side of like looking at that to me is, if you look through all of those studios that Embracer own now, how many of them can you look at and go, I remember playing games from them that I really enjoyed?
Oh no, like other than Deep Silver, THQ,
Volition,
Gearbox,
Tarsier, then Little Nightmares 1 and 2,
Gunfire.
But I think when I saw like the acquisition detail as well, like, and it goes through all the IP that they own, not everything's kind of been fumbled, hasn't it, over the last 3 to 4 years? So it's all kind of distressed. It's all there. Probably got a bit of a deal on it, in terms of what they're buying. Maybe there's some of the IPs running out soon in terms of the ownership that they've got around it.
Interesting you mentioned that, Dan. Interestingly.
Thanks, Lewis.
It's Embracer Group pulled the plug on Aspyr doing the KOTOR remake recently, like over the last week. And it's moved it to another of their development companies who are named
in Poland, weren't they?
I think it's Saber Interactive. So it was with Aspyr, and it was one of Saber Interactive's Eastern European studios, both owned by Embracer. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. That's another fumble and a half. But then if they're buying these studios as a group and not applying their own framework to them, that would be a bit concerning.
Yeah, like I kind of, because at the same time as this, they said they've got all of the IP rights for games in the Lord of the anything Tolkien, basically.
Yeah. And so that means the Nemesis system and all that stuff, isn't it, basically?
How are you going to use that? You've got all of these studios, but are they going to go the Activision route where they start folding bunches of them together to make...
Christ.
And using some of these franchises that have gone dormant?
I guess it's who runs them as well, because like if you've got, and I think that's where Sony and Microsoft have clearly got their head screwed on, but all of the execs that they've purchased, whether that's a good thing or not for some, but they keep them there. You know, they make sure that they're running those studios, they put them in very senior, probably very well paid positions in PlayStation and Microsoft respectively. So like Embracer, I'm curious to know who's pushing the actual group strategy, because then you'd assume that person should have an exceptionally good knowledge of game development to make sure that they get the right culture, they get the right output, they almost apply their own formula to game development to all those areas. But if they're cancelling games and moving them from one internal studio to another, one, that's going to cost a shit ton of money, and then two, on top of it, it's just highly inefficient. So,
but then how far were they through KOTOR as a remake, to be fair? Because they were talking about potentially the catalyst for that was 2 of the major directors at Aspyr have gone in the last like 6 weeks, I want to say.
Yeah.
But why are they going?
Gone.
Yeah,
well, that's it. Is like,
yeah.
Is the culture toxic? Has there been a major shift somewhere that they've had a tantrum and left because they're not happy with something like that, and they've gone, right, the next best fit is this other studio that we own?
Yeah, I mean, acquisitions in any company, in any market, are just bloody difficult, because if you're not 100% efficient as a group and then willing to deliver a framework to those companies, it just means that either your exec team are going to get stretched and you're not able to do the things that you want, and people start to go, they become Thunderbird 5, you know, they're kind of forgotten about in space, they're on the fringe groups, maybe they're not loved in the way that they are. And I think from a creativity perspective as well, if these guys aren't getting the airtime, yeah, you can see why people are leaving and going to other studios. So interesting, see how it pans out. Good pie chart though, great pie chart.
It is a very good pie chart, I love it. I'm just scrolling around to see what's what. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Really am sorry, Tyler.
What were you going to say, mate?
No, it's just really interesting that there's names on there I'd like almost forgotten about, or had never considered that they were owned by, you know, like Digital Extremes, like being owned by Tencent. Like,
yeah.
That's gone over my head for years. Riot as well.
I'm so surprised that Ubisoft aren't pumping a game out every week with that many studios that are all just Ubisoft studios. Curious to know like how many of them at once work on, like, let's say like an Assassin's Creed game or
I was going to say
Far Cry.
I've seen talk of them in the past, like handing a game, like exactly what we're saying, handing a game from, you know, Ubisoft Montreal to somewhere else completely, like the other side of the planet.
Yeah, completely.
Just midway through almost.
It's a lot of money in them their games, isn't there? A lot of money in them their games. Speaking of games, so out this week as well, I'm just going to quickly run through a list of these things, guys. We can talk about anything you might be interested in, although I don't think there's going to be anything on here. Soul Hackers 2 is out on August 26th in 3 days, as we're recording on the 23rd of the 8th. That's on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, PS4 and Xbox One. Pac-Man World Repack, August 26th again, all consoles and PC again. F1 Manager 22, that's got to be one for the Grumpelstiltskin again. August 30th, and that's on all consoles and PC. It's not on Switch, that one, I should say. Back for Blood, Children of the Worm DLC. That's on PS5, Xbox, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, August 30th. That's on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. Immortality is out on August 30th. Anything jumping out at all?
Immortality was getting exceptional like early reviews and things like that. Is it Sam Barlow, the guy that did? He's got a really good pedigree basically, and the reviews of that game.
Any relation to Deirdre?
Could well be.
You never know, do you?
No.
Okay. Could be Deirdre Barlow. Didn't get a laugh out, Lewis. It's fine. It's wasted. I shared a nice little news story over on gamingbible.co.uk. Indie developer Squid in a Box, real name Rob Hale, sadly passed away earlier this month as a result of cancer complications. Following their death, as PC Gamer writes, their games, the arcade twin-stick shooters Waves and Waves 2 Notorious, have been made free to download on Steam as a parting gift. Hale's passing and the decision to make the games free was shared in an announcement by their partner CJ on the Steam forums, saying this was something Rob was considering anyway within the past 2 months as their health entered into more substantial difficulties, so this can be seen as a parting gift to all those out there that haven't yet played the games. I just thought that was really nice. It's not just kind of put on people's agenda to go and pick up a game if they want, so Waves and Waves 2 Notorious. are over on Steam and are free, and I downloaded them before, so I'll give them a little go. But it looks like what's the name of the game that we used to play? The ping pong.
Yeah, it looks like Ding Dong XL.
That's it, Ding Dong XL.
I was going to say that looks like it's got cross seasons written all over it for those of us with PCs.
Indeed, yeah.
There we go. So a little cheeky
You
freebie
probably
there.
decide to pick. Yeah, you probably decide to pick another racing game, though, Tyler. So just put it on the back burner. Maybe one day.
Just another one, you know. So let's talk about those racing games and pick up and play. Pick up and play. Lewis, picked up anything, mate?
Nope.
No? Okay. Tyler, picked up anything?
Does it count if I picked it up for my little boy?
Yes,
And I'll probably end up playing it anyway.
Absolutely. Far away.
So I picked up for him Skywalker Saga and Shredder's Revenge for the Switch.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So he's played a couple of hours of Skywalker Saga, and I think he's only asked me twice so far to help him through puzzles. But that's running really well. I'm surprised, like for a multi-platform game, how well that runs on a Switch Lite. I'm impressed.
Decent.
Hopefully it's his gateway into Star Wars, because he's not really been that fussed so far.
Is it? So it plays really well.
Yeah, like he's got, I think, every franchise Lego game they do for the Switch. He's played all of them. And considering how much more recent this is release-wise than the others, the fact that it was like simultaneous release for like PS5 and Series X and stuff, I kind of was worried it would run a bit, it would chug on Switch in places. But as far as he's got, it seems to run really, really well. Frame rate's consistent. It looks half decent.
Decent. Okay, cool. Anything else?
No, I haven't picked up anything else really this week. I'm trying to avoid it really. I'm trying to save all my money up for later in the year, because I know that I'm probably going to end up buying both Pokemon games, special edition, double pack, whatever marketing guff they throw out.
Why? Why would you get both? I've never understood.
Because me and my wife have played almost every generation of Pokemon together for as long as we've been together.
What
so
is
I'll get
the
one game and she'll
slogan?
get the other.
What's the slogan of Pokemon, Lewis?
I have to catch all of them.
That's not it, but it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, that's why people buy both, because you can't get the same Pokemon in both.
But by the wonders of the internet, you can sort of work around it.
But that's a fair enough explanation. I know there's other people who just get it just because they don't want to, converse with others to get all of them. They just buy both games.
Or you could do what I do and buy one, then play it for like 20, 30 hours, which I did with either Sword or Shield, then sell it, as in trade it in, then want to get it again, but then get the wrong one, so that when you load it, it's not the same Pokemon, and I've got no save. That's what I did. True story.
Wow.
Okay, well, you're saving that money up. Lewis, what have you been playing then, mate? Because I've been playing the same thing. Let's talk about it, even though they did it last week.
I've been playing Cut of the Lamb. I know Ben went in it last week. I finished it earlier on today.
Oh, okay.
I've got to say, I very much enjoyed the game. I know that in the past I've been quite negative on roguelites, whatever one it is. But much like what Ben said, I didn't see much of that aspect to it because it wasn't on its normal difficulty that bad, that difficult a game to get through.
No.
Before I go in any further, Dan, what's your high level?
High level, exactly the same. Probably one of the most fun games I've played this year, and it's really captivated me just in terms of going back to it, picking up the Switch. It's probably the most time I've spent with the OLED, I think, on one game. I think. Just trying to think if there's anything else I played that maybe has taken that time up. But yeah, most of the time that I spent on with the OLED. I think it's absolutely fun. I love the Stardew elements of it. It's got massive vibes from Moonlighter, which I absolutely adored that game. The roguelite side of it is fantastic. Like I said, it gives you a little bit of difference. The nitpicky parts is when you're smashing shit up at the end, when you kind of cleared a room out, you don't really get a lot of stuff dropped in those points. I know you can get different power-ups and cards and tarot cards that do, but if you don't get those tarot cards and you don't get that luck, sometimes rooms can be a little bit bare. And when you've got like a
Yeah,
task,
no, I know what you mean.
yeah, a task to get like 10 mushrooms or something, and then nothing's dropping,
Yeah.
you're like, fuck. Like, that's the only time I've ever felt frustrated with the game. It makes some of those tasks quite hard. Other than that, I absolutely love the cult aspect of it. The balance of trying to keep all of your minions happy, making sure they're well fed, watered, they're able to sleep in appropriate digs. Like, all those things are really cool. Remind me of Dungeon Keeper as well. So yeah, it's probably a solid 9 out of 10 for me, which I'm, you know, always hesitant to give a game, but I can't wait to finish it as well. It's really good. It's fought for my time quite a lot.
That's the thing, like, it's more or less all I've been playing for the last week or so. I don't know how, like, Ben absolutely smashed.
He does,
that,
doesn't he?
and,
Like, seem...
I don't know. He does.
Does he sleep?
How does he manage it?
Doesn't sleep.
He's a vampire.
He is, yeah.
Things I really like the art style of it. I've listened to the soundtrack, as I always do with these kind of games. I always like to jump into soundtracks, and
I wasn't overdone with the soundtrack on this.
I thought it was perfectly. I mean, it's not up there
Yeah.
with like Hollow Knight or Celeste or Night in the Woods or any of that, but it was still good. Take the dogs at a walk.
Good
pop
enough.
That on.
Okay.
Good little like walk soundtrack. Fun songs on there. One thing I really like about it is the art style, and when you go
Yeah.
into a conversation with one of your followers, there's almost like a fisheye lens style.
Yeah.
It was really just weird, and I was like, how would you describe that? And I think fisheye is the only way I can describe it. When you go, kind of zoom in a little bit further. I like the aspect of like naming characters. Towards the end, just got fed up, and I just used
the stock ones. Yeah, same.
Yep. I have to say, Tyler, you are a very noble servant. I was very happy with you. However, I was not impressed by towards the end you tried to kill me. But I'm willing to put these things to the side. I had to dispatch, but I brought you back because I thought you were a good, honest follower. Fair enough, I gave you a necklace that meant you couldn't sleep, but these are the things that happen in the cult.
The I would say the planning of that game is immaculate, because everything that you can do within it, there's not one like decision tree that feels like rushed, or there's not one element of leveling up anything, whether it's the town itself or whether it's just your crown or whatever it might be, that doesn't feel like meticulously done and well planned out. I absolutely adore that. I think the voices as well, like as in the little audible notes that the characters give, like it's super cool. It reminds me of
It reminds me of Hollow Knight.
this TV
weird noises.
Is it Final Space on Netflix?
Yes.
There's that
what's his name? Mooncake.
Like that literally is how all the things speak in it, and I was like, found that really endearing. But it's just a clever game. It's really funny. I think in terms of like, I'd like to see DLC for it. I would like to see a follow-up game for it, because I'm curious to see what those devs can do with that format as well. And it's just another smash for Devolver. Like, they just pick the best games, and it's so Devolver, so good.
Yeah, I would say that my run wasn't without issues. I ran into quite a lot.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
whereas my initial one, when I was in Discord saying, "Oh, I'm soft locked in the cult area," I think that was mainly because I think I had to do certain aspects in the early game before you can go back out into the field to go back into the roguelike version aspect of the game. But towards the end, I got a lot of my tempo disappearing, and I need to save, quit the menu, go back for it to regenerate. If there was prisoners in the stocks, I'd have the stocks. Like I had them up the back near the stairs up to the exit. The stocks were here, but the prisoner was like 10 or 11 paces the other way, just like this, standing like that.
Bit dramatic.
Like nowhere near the thing.
Yeah.
When I did rituals, I would get soft locked in a ritual.
I had that.
Save and quit back out, and it happened. Like last night, I was playing it, and I put it in Discord. It happened, and I tried it 6 or 7 times, and I got out of ritual once.
So it's when you do 2. So if you've done 2 rituals and then a day doesn't reset, I found I was getting locked into it, and it was just like they were all just dancing on their own if I'd done 2.
Yeah.
But if I gave it a day and then went back and only did 1, it was fine. So it's just a bit like that part caught me a couple of times, and I had a game breaking bug where it was I finished the third boss, and for some reason where it kind of like glitched on the edge of the room, it elevated itself, and you're meant to collect the heart,
Okay.
and the heart was just like hovering above me, and I was like,
What do I do now?
I was just rolling around thinking like, how can I get it? Can't do anything. So yeah, it was that there were moments when I was like immensely frustrated, but yeah, even for its faults,
No, yeah, definitely. It's like even for those faults, there's no. It's still up there with like the indies of the year so far for me. It's funny you mentioned that. I had something about halfway through my playthrough where one of the enemy characters fell off the stage and was like in the trees, and I couldn't get to them. I was like, I had the claw hands, and I just couldn't reach them.
They're fucking shit. The claw hands, I hate them. Yeah.
I thought they were okay because I did 3, and then there was a last one, but it seemed to like have an impact range quite far. But no.
And fuck the fuck whoever did some of the room designs as well, or just like design the algorithm that places enemies. Because when you're in like a more complex room and there's like 7 just around you, and you're there with the claw hands, like for fuck's sake, and it's just then you're just in a melee trying to get out, and you hear that noise that you've been hit. You're like, oh fuck, but
really good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, nothing that those issues a quick patch won't fix.
Yeah. How many hours are you through it? How long did it take?
Everyone was saying 11 or 12. I really took my time, so my time says 16 and a half.
Yeah, I've been fishing for like 4 hours in that game, just trying to catch stuff. So yeah.
I seem to spend a lot of time back at camp going, okay, you can go do this, you can do that. Tyler, no, I know you're tired, but you're not allowed to go to sleep. You've got that necklace on, you're not allowed to sleep. So I'd like just spend loads of time there doing bits and pieces, like mopping up shit, cleaning sick.
Yeah.
Making sure. Let's just talk about the followers for one thing. Well, Ben.
Let's go for it.
Deserted me.
Really?
I didn't have a present. I didn't have a present in time, and he dissented. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Ben, why are you doing this to me? And he left. I didn't have a prison built in time.
How rich?
Contain him.
How rich?
I know.
Of all the people.
Stupid cow.
I just keep making Carl eat like the worst type of food, so he just like shits himself or has like a 75% chance of dying. So we just risking
my
it.
version of Carl, he's a risky guy. My version of Carl was very similar. Again, quite loyal. He had to die. I sacrificed him.
Yeah, stupidly. And that sacrificing like animation's absolutely brutal as well. Because like even if they dissented and they're grumpy, and then as soon as like Cthulhu comes up or whatever it is, like gets a grip on them, like fuck, their eyes start bulging out. It's horrible. And then a load of meat flies out of the hole in the ground. Tyler, talking about meat in a hole in the ground. Xenoblade 3, it says on here. How's that?
Yeah, it's excellent. I love it. I'm really, really impressed with that game.
Okay.
Played the first 2 in the last like couple of years, like late getting into that franchise, and the third one it takes everything that those games do well and perfects it, and finds a lot of the criticisms that people have had for the first 2 and does a lot to fix them, if not completely eliminates them, to be fair. I mean, I must have played 4 or 5 hours just yesterday and today. I've done nothing towards the story. I've just done all of these different side quests. I've wandered around, seen parts of this ridiculous, huge open world. Just wandered off, kind of like we all did a little bit with Elden Ring. Like, it's just that same sense of going to do something and then getting completely sidetracked, and 4 hours later realising that you're coming back to somewhere where you're completely over-leveled for.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. The setting's amazing. The story, as far as I've got, is very good, and I'm only led to believe that it gets more and more engrossing, and it grabs you, I think, the further you get through that game.
Yeah. So I'm obviously planning on EGX next month. I like a JRPG on the train, so I'll either play Dragon Quest 11 and like commit some time to that and really get into it. Still got 3 houses that I haven't got through enough. It's not quite a JRPG, but still. And I've only put maybe half an hour into Xenoblade, just because it was like headspace thing. I was working quite hard, and then a couple of other indies came out, like Cult of the Lamb, where I thought I'd give that time. So I will go back to it. I'm not going to pass judgment on the first half an hour, because I think any JRPG requires at least 10 for you to be able to make a sound enough judgment as to whether or not it's for you. But I remember doing
Mad,
that.
that.
It is crazy. I know it's crazy, but it's not like even just the story of like Xenoblade and like I don't find that very compelling, and like I don't like the aesthetic of it, like the mecha kind of mecha stuff going on, and just like I need to give it some time, and I need to bed it in a little bit. So I'll give it a go.
I hope you get on really well with it. I hope we talk about it again, and when I'm still not finished it in 2 months' time, when you get back from EGX, I hope you come back and you're like, "Do you know what? I get it now."
Yeah, it's gelled. I'm hoping so. Like I did like the first, apart from Lewis's constant impression and saying Minardo.
What on Bionis is that?
He's just gonna fucking have a field day with half the cosplaying people at EGX because there was so
You know
many
what I'll
people.
be?
Go on.
Do you know what it'll be? It'll be Rhine time.
Oh dear. You'll be like, get a life.
Minardo.
Well, you can't do that. What else should we be playing, Tyler?
I have spent a lot of time on the first 2 levels of Shredder's Revenge so far. I say a lot of time, probably about 2 hours, and considering those
really?
levels are like 5 or 6 minutes each,
Why is that?
that's a lot of replays. So I have been doing this as part of this week's Cross Seasons Challenge.
Lovely.
So at the suggestion of some of our community, the suggestion was made that I don't do racing games every week, because I think I've done a few in a row without meaning to.
Play.
So yeah, this week was something a little bit different. We did Streets of Rage 4 last season, across seasons, and that went down really well. We had a lot of us battling it out.
Think about it.
I don't want to know how many runs you did for that last time round, Lewis. And I don't even think... I think you still got scullied in the end, didn't you?
I got scullied at 25 past 12. That was the game that brought in the rule. That was the game that brought in the rule. I was like, I'm going to be gracious and say, no, I'm not going to be that guy who says, well, no, you're after 12. You're not allowed to have that. I was like, you on you go, you have the win. I was fucking raging. Furious.
Brilliant.
That's what brought in the 12 o'clock midnight rule. Was that Scully Sunday.
Scully Sunday. That U2 song.
Yeah.
Sunday, Scully Sunday. Again, not a subject we should be making light of. So it's fine.
We'll breeze over that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to see what you can do with those 2 levels this week. Because I know that you're
2 hours you've been on that, and those are the times that you're posting it.
Yeah, I'm first to admit I am not good at those games. I think my first experience of really playing them was Streets of Rage 4 last year.
Okay.
What have we done? Tony Hawk's for Cross Seasons?
No, we haven't, because it's not on sale for cheap enough anywhere. The cheapest I've seen it's about 15 quid. They did put it on PS Plus actually, saying that.
Yeah, it's on PS Plus now.
It was it was a free monthly game in the last couple of months. I was actually told, is it this month? Is it? I thought it was last month.
Yeah.
I was told specifically not to put it on Cross Seasons just because of you, Dan.
Bollocks. There are certain things that
He's not going to play it.
I have played it.
The game Dan will play.
I'm good at playing that, mate. Stop being a bell end.
In comparison to Ben, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was not difficult, is it? Old, confused-handed Ben. Come on, Ben. Where's the controller? Oh, I just can't do it, Dan. I can't play Tony Hawk's.
I watched that stream, and Ben was like, "How are you getting?" Because Dan was getting like hundreds of thousands or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but and Ben was like topping out at like 2,000 or 3,000 or something.
Yeah,
He's like, how can you do that? You just see this like man just slowly crumble.
And my ego is just going,
yeah.
I'll show you one day.
I say, if we do Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, your headphones won't fit you the following week.
No, it won't. It won't.
They're already broken at the top. They just stitched them back together, sellotape at the top.
It's a bit of super glue.
I need to post the time. I need to do a couple of runs. I've not played through the game with Splinter, but I think I have done a couple of stages with him. I need to post the time, see what's what.
There we go. Get the runs in
Tomorrow.
Get the runs.
Tyler.
I look forward to it.
Looks forward to your runs. Any other games, Tyler, at all?
So I played Turbo Golf Racing. I played about an hour of that on Sunday.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to kind of hold off playing anymore and wait for that to get full release, because I think it's absolutely excellent. I think it would be an ideal one to get a bunch of us together on a Friday or a Saturday evening and play through that, because don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun single player, but it's the perfect game, I think, to play 6 of us all against each other, trying to play through like a few rounds of that, because it's hilarious. It takes everything that's fun about Rocket League, to an extent Mario Kart, and then throws it in sort of like this weird golf-based mold, and then is like, yeah, just have fun, get from A to B. You get power-ups, the courses and the holes are wacky shaped, you have like hazards, you have boosts, all this sort of weird and wonderful stuff that you get across like racing games, sports games, just in this really interesting combination. It's just silly and fun in the best way. And I think as a full release, it's going to hopefully do really well.
Well, from one golf game to another, so I've been playing Curse the Golf. Been playing it on the Switch as well because it just made sense. But I'd seen your man Scully's review, and I think it was on Nintendo Life. Would it be Nintendo Life? I can't remember.
I think he's just VGC now.
VGC.
Maybe there.
Apologies, it was VGC. So I saw it on there. If you haven't seen it, so it's almost like a 2D platformer with roguelite elements in it, and obviously the fun game of golf that is being played in between it. Story-wise, so you play the champ, I think is the name of the character, and he's just about to finish his like championship round of golf, and he gets struck by lightning and dies, and then he gets sent to like the golf equivalent of purgatory, where there's like a club captain there, and he owns a shop that you can buy these kind of power-up cards that give you certain skills whenever you're playing around it. And then essentially it is just the game of golf within that 2D environment. It's so much fun, and it is fucking difficult. I've had like 7 rounds at the moment. So the whole point is if you only have so many shots to make par, and if you don't make par, then you'll get wiped out from that course. So the whole point is to try and get through all 18 holes. I've made it to like hole 4 a couple of times, and each time just get absolutely annihilated, even if it is roguelite, and sometimes you can get different options, but it's like multi-layered, there's different levels to it, there's different things you can do, almost like snakes and ladders, to either get up or down the map, all with the objective of trying to get the ball in the hole at the end of it. So like I said, some of the power-ups you can get, one that allows you to shoot 3 balls out at once, and then you can select the one that you prefer, based on where it lands. You can get things that add the amount of shots that you've got left onto par, so that you potentially, if you're like 4 shots away from being able to complete the hole, you can add that on. Or you might gamble and save that card for a later run if you think it might add more value later and it's not really doing anything at the moment. Every single time you finish a hole, you get money, so you can add that to your kitty. You can either buy cards at that point, or you can bank it for later and buy more cards on let's say a more profitable round. And the whole point of the game is, like I said, you go from hole to hole in a little golf cart, and then you select the route that you want to go down, almost like
Slay the Spire.
Slay the Spire, thank you, it's exactly the game I was thinking of. So you can kind of see the different levels that you want to do, or it may be that you can go to the shop on one run, you can go and get a special card on another, but at the end of that run, it's like a very difficult course for your 4th hole, and therefore there's that gambling element of, well, I could just go the easy route and skip all the good stuff and the really hard route. Yeah, so it's really, really fun. I've had a lot of time with it. It kept me away from Cult of the Lamb for about, I'd say 2 hours, which is pretty decent. So
Will you go back and finish it, do you think?
What was that, mate? Sorry.
Will you go back and finish it, do you think?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm probably just going to finish Cult of the Lamb first and then go to it. But I've not really had a game like that lined up immediately that I've gone, oh, this is really fun. Like, I'm going to enjoy playing this for a while. But just word of caution, it is hard. It's not really that easy, which to some people might be really cool. But if you're a completionist and you want to get to the end of the game and all 18 holes, I can't imagine that's going to be an easy feat. So it's good, really good. Enjoying it. 2 good games for once.
Just looking at images of it, it's not a game I ever thought that you'd.
I really liked
play. Never mind, like.
Yeah, I really liked Golf Story, and I liked the way Scully kind of explained this was you've got you literally have an iron, a driver, and a wedge, so it takes away some of the complexity of golf, and just makes it a little bit more. it's not necessarily more enjoyable, but just makes it more of a challenge as well, because you're just saying, well, there's basically short, medium, and long, in terms of the shots that you can play. And then the risk and reward is obviously getting the meter all the way up like you would on any golf game, judging exactly how hard you want to hit it, and then the trajectory of the shot as well. And there's different mechanics within it, so you can kind of look around what the immediate... So, if you just like side scroll, I think it's not called a drone, it's called something, but you can basically go to the right and see exactly what you need your trajectory to be and what power you need it to be. But yeah, super fun, really, really good. It shouldn't be up my street, but I do like a golf game.
Cool.
Spoilers.
Big fan of golf games, so I had a look after, because Alex spoke about it a little bit on X Players. So I've watched a few people playing it, and yeah, that's 100% a pick up for me.
Yeah,
at some point, probably after Xenoblade.
Yeah, real good month for indies. Cracking month for indies. Tell you what's a good month for as well, Gamescom. Should we very, very, very quickly just talk about some of the stuff that we saw before? I've got a little list in front of me just before we dive into a feature. So the opening evening was this evening. We're now recording at 9:35, so I think it's finished. But just kind of whiz through some of the things that were on there. So we had Lords of the Fallen is back, and this time it begins with a "the." Remember Everywhere? That was the game that they announced. That was the first game that popped up.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, that's popping up next year, and it's from GTA producers Creative Opus. We've got Hogwarts Legacy. There was more shown there, which didn't look great, if I'm brutally honest.
No.
It looked a bit...
No. I don't know, like, I'm quite looking forward to it, but I don't know what I'm expecting for the game.
Gameplay looks great.
Looked a bit...
Just...
I don't know. I don't know if was there gameplay shown?
Yeah, there was no gameplay.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, only bits, but like from what it, like the aesthetic of it looked really cool, and just some of the animations of like the spells and stuff looked very authentic. But yeah, that story kind of beat just looked awful. You kids better be good, or I'll tell you what. Like all that kind of shit in a game of this caliber just doesn't make sense to me at all. New Tales from the Borderlands. I didn't really gel with the first, so I'm not really too bothered. Sonic Frontiers. I said in the WhatsApp group before. Go on, Lewis. You go first, mate. No,
you go on, mate.
I was going to say it reminds me of Starlink. Go on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say like I can remember like a couple of months ago there was a gameplay leak. No, it was IGN and a gameplay
reveal
walkthrough of it, and it looked fucking atrocious. Like.
Yeah.
And what they've done here is like it's basically the same in different locations, but they've cut it together very cleverly to make it look like a really cool, fast flowing trailer. But like what I want to know is what happens when you don't hit what you need to hit. When Sonic drops down, you go, oh, to slowly run, and like you're up like however many 100 feet up in the air at some weird fucking loop to loop. I don't know. A 3D Sonic.
Yeah.
I guess not as a no. It's a no.
I think
you need to do a lot of work to win me over.
I think Sega at the moment are fumbling again with Sonic, and after the success of the films, that was the opening for them to do something completely weird and wacky like Mario Odyssey, and go into like a real world scenario almost. So like obviously a computer game version of it, and put that version of Sonic in there and just call it fucking Sonic the movie, the game. Something stupid. Get Ben Schwartz to do the voice as normal. Put the Rock in it, like everything. Like that should have been the angle.
Yeah.
Would have sold a bucket load to the kids as well.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. It just looks more 3D Sonic in an open world.
Yeah,
I didn't mind the early 3D Sonic games, like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I really like. I know they haven't necessarily aged well, but I really enjoyed those. And it just seems like everything from then has been downhill. Like it's been nigh on 20 years since they made a good Sonic game that was 3D. The only exception is Mania, like 2D or 3D. His Generations has elements of both, and even that's not amazing.
Yeah,
I'd be curious. Is Christian Whitehead, who made Sonic Mania, does he have anything to do with
Sega? Oh, right, okay.
Don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
That's what because Christian Whitehead was like a Sonic mod. He did loads of weird stuff. I think he did the ports for the iPhone or something.
I thought you meant to his body.
The Sonic games.
I thought you meant like mods in like modifies himself like Cyberpunk. I was like, yeah.
He has blue
Knuckles.
spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got two penises. So I don't know if like he's involved. If he's involved, because he seems to be. He knows what to do. Where you'd think Sega should know, but they don't.
They don't.
It's Christian Two Penis Whitehead knows.
Dean Whitehead. June is getting its own survival MMO set on Arrakis. You can't really say too much about it. It was nice VO, so I don't know other than not VO. Nice video, in terms of what it showed, but
Yeah.
There's nothing to it yet, though. Like, it's still just, to me, like, they might as well have just revealed a title screen. Like, show me what it's going to look like to play.
Well,
show me some of what I'm going to experience, otherwise why the fuck do I get excited?
If it's not an action game, it's going to be a bit of a letdown after that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What my issue with these types of presentations is that there's stuff that's revealed so far in advance of when it's going to come out, and you can almost you put a bet on very short odds to say that June will be delayed and it'll come out. Initial date will be 2024 and it'll get pushed back to 2026. What's the point in telling us now?
Yeah.
When it's stuff is inevitably going to get
Jeff
delayed.
Keighley in it. He's persuasive. He's like, I reckon he caught Dean Frontier's Whitehead having his prostate exam, and he's the doctor, and he's got his finger up there, and he's going like, and he's going, oh, you're.
Which one he has two prostates.
He's got both. He's got both up there, and he's yeah. Dean's obviously his prostate, and then Jeff goes, "Well, it's me. You're gonna do Frontiers, aren't you? Oh, I'm gonna do Frontiers," and then that's it. And then he does that several times over, so much so that you got PlayStation to announce their new DualSense Edge.
Yeah.
Edge. Edge wireless controller for PS5. Lewis, how much is this going to cost?
I think it'll be harken back to our first news story. I think it's going to be 200 quid.
200 quid.
I think it'll be expensive.
Tyler,
how much is the thingy?
The Xbox equivalent is 180-ish, Dan. I think, was your Halo one a little bit more than that because it's a special edition?
A little bit more, I think. But you can get the Xbox Series Elite 2 for 159 in Currys at this point in time. So yeah.
Yeah, somewhere between 150 and 200 quid, I think.
Yeah, I'd probably go for that. I reckon they can probably sell it 180.
Yeah.
See who gets closer. Whoever gets closer has to buy the other two. In fact, no, let's not do that. Because I already owe everything else.
Persona 5.
Shut up. New fancy action RPG, Atlas Fallen, looks like June meets Destiny. That did look alright, to be honest. Weird Song, I can't remember, from Bethesda and Obsidian RPG alumni. That's the new title from Jeff Gardner and Something Wicked Games. That's their first title. Pinocchio meets Bloodborne action RPG, Lies of P. That's day one on Game Pass coming in 2023. That did look good. I think we've seen that before as well, haven't we?
Yeah, I've heard about that before. I don't know if I've seen too much, but I've definitely read a bit about it.
Yeah. Dead Island 2 returns. Gotham Knights got an early release date than expected. We've got to look at the villains and that. The Outlast Trials is playable in October in closed beta. And then surely Pokemon and Mini's new electric car won't distract you from driving. That was it. And that is Polygon.com. That gave me all that information as well.
We can't forget Red Bull.
Can't forget Red Bull. God knows what that was about. All that stupid thing that you can scan the QR. You need to save Zaban from... It's fucking depressing, isn't it? I don't even want to talk about it. Guys, they run a convention.
Aye.
They've got a convention. They've got their own way of doing things. The Wheel of Cheese is on the screen. Could be Brie, could be Camembert, could be anything, could be Ched. Could be Chester, could be anything. So it's on the screen. So we're going to do one of our games. And as we have Gamescom opening night tonight, what better, I thought, let's fudge it. Let's Ruddy design our own gaming convention. So we've got a couple of things on the screen. I'm going to spin the wheel. The lads should have done their homework. If they haven't, they're going to get absolutely crucified. And first up is Tyler. And Tyler, I want to know, which one's this going to be? Oh, publisher or dev guest presenter for day one. And what are they unveiling? So I'm going to make notes whilst we're doing this on my phone, because otherwise you hear the click-clack of my keyboard. So publisher or dev guest presenter for day one on their stage. What are they unveiling?
I want to see Free Radical with either a Time Splitters remastered collection or a new entry in that franchise.
Free
'Cause
Radical. Okay.
I love those games. Free Radical did an excellent job last time, and I think we're in a place where really realistic shooters people are a bit fed up of. Anything too silly maybe isn't quite going to hit, but Time Splitters was always a nice balance of the two of them. And I think, seeing how Fortnite's done, give it maybe a BR mode, give it free to play online, and then a paid full story, and you drag a lot of people back in.
Yeah, yeah. And some of the map designs in those games, 1 and 2, were fantastic, like in terms of multiplayer. So I'd be well up for that. Who is the presenter though? That's what I want to know. So you've got your actual company. Who's going to be here presenting Free Radical, wearing the t-shirt, and then saying Time Splitters, guys, is getting a remake?
I don't. The easy one, and you joked about it already, was The Rock, because put him in anything and someone will buy it. But
we've wheeled out the fucking Rock already. That's okay. That's fine.
But then that his little guest spot, he'd walk on with no shirt on because he's been pumping iron backstage, and he'd say something completely incoherent, and it wouldn't really mean much.
I'm up for that.
But I don't know. I'd like someone maybe slightly cheesy action movie-ish, and he kind of fits that mold.
Okay, it's fine. It's okay. There you go. I think you could do it. He could come out. He could be a playable character in there. You can imagine him as like a character.
The
model in
monkey
Time
suit.
Splitters. The
monkey suit from Time Splitters too.
Amen. There we go. Got to spin the wheel again. Now it's Lewis's turn. Here we go, Lewis.
I think Eamon's going to be there.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, interesting. So, day one opening song choice. So the song that's now blaring as we're giving our games convention, it's got its massive it's not Jeff Keighley, but the Jeff Keighley character that we're going to decide on later is coming out, microphone in hand. What song have you got blaring?
Friday by Rebecca Black.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Friday.
And obviously this is happening on
It's an absolute banger, that's why.
It's happening on a Tuesday evening, and you've got Friday. Okay.
That's fine.
Tyler, what song did you have?
Something high energy. I don't know, struggling to nail this one down because I'm quite one-sided in my music taste, and I feel like anything I'd have gone for wouldn't have necessarily been an audience-pleasing choice.
I had Salt and Pepper, What a Man. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a man, a good man, what a man, what a good man. That one.
Nice.
Pity it's Friday, Friday.
Absolutely amazing. I'm realising that I've done on this and you guys have been changing my answers. I'm going through absolute gobshites. Oh, fucking hell, okay. So we got a song choice there. We got day one song is Friday. Remove that off there. If I see any of you near these questions, I'm going to absolutely rip your heads off. Okay, convention sponsor number 1 for me. I've got to pick that. So convention sponsor number 1, I went with Durex. I said mainly towards the parents bringing the nerd kids so that they rubber up and avoid future mistakes.
It's funny, I was thinking along the same lines earlier on.
Okay.
When I was sat in the toilet.
We think well together. That's Durex is the main sponsor of the event.
It's a strong one.
It's very
strong sponsor.
I'm happy with that. Okay, spinning again for Tyler. Here we go. Round and round it goes. The wheel of cheese. Oh, he's got a good one. Here we go. Location, city, and country.
I'm gonna go London. It's an easy choice, but it's just so easily accessible for everyone.
Is it?
It's dull, but
okay.
yeah,
I think back from there at the moment. Fuck,
yeah.
Stuck there. And
yeah, but you live in Caelid, Dan.
Fuck, it's Liverpool, man. Caelid. Wow. Oh dear. I don't know how to respond.
I understood that reference.
To be fair, it's been bad recently. I'm not going to say why, but it's been bad recently. Been some terrible things. So we're saying London. Okay. Lewis, where did you have?
Edinburgh. Just, I'm sick of travelling to places. I want one on my doorstep.
Okay, I said Liverpool. For exactly the same reason, funnily enough. And just because it would be nice to bring something of joy to the people of Caelan. Okay, let's spin that mother again. Here she goes round and round the wheel of cheese. And is this Lewis now? Yeah. Oh, he's got. Is he going to get a doozy? No, he isn't. He's just missed it. So you've got the pub/dev guest presenter of day 2, and what are they unveiling, please, Lewis?
Unveiling is Ronald Nontundo, and they're unveiling the game Splatoon 3.
So how am I spelling Nontundo, please?
Nontundo.
Okay, and the game name?
Splatoon 3.
And there's
A
not
game
been...
where you walk around and there's various, Splatoons, and you got to go and try and spit into the thing, and you're gauged on points how accurate the ping is when your
Splatoon.
tobacco or whatever
Splatoon.
hits that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Is that in a similar vein to that like really early iPhone game where you had the paper balls that you had to toss into the various little bins?
Yes.
So you get
That's
more
big,
points
that's
for
a good way
different
to visualise
distances.
Yeah.
Tyler,
Good one. That's a good way to visualize it.
what do you have for day 2 for your one?
A Zelda crossover with something with Bethesda. Give Bethesda the Zelda franchise.
Well, I had Bethesda and Starfield presented by Kerry Katona.
God.
She's doing cocaine in front of people. She's not even presenting. She's just literally got a table in front of her. And then the other one had Craig Charles, and he's just out again doing cocaine, and he's talking about the remake of Robot Wars game for the next gen consoles. So
I'd take that.
Yeah, I'd take that. That'd be very cool.
I love that game. That was fantastic.
Have we done all I'll do another one. I'll do my other one here.
Go for it. Yeah.
We've all had all these simulation games recently. So my first one was or my second one was Body Wash Simulator.
Oh, okay,
And
that's a good
going
one.
to be presented by I don't know his first name, so I had to give him a name. John Lynx. It was going to be sponsored by Lynx.
Oh, okay.
Christ, I'm not going to bother finishing that sentence. Fine. Carry on.
Cut that. Spinning the wheel of cheese. Cheese of wheel of cheese. Here we go. What's next? It's my turn now, is it? Ooh.
I think so.
Main presenter for the 3 days. I've gone for reanimated Bruce Forsyth because if we're doing a convention in the UK, and it's a legit one, it's not like
You've changed that.
with respect, I have, because somebody else did something different on it and changed it. And I think none other than Brucey getting up there, giving he might have a bit of limber issues. He might have decomposed slightly, but who better than Brucey? Honestly, gets up there. Tess Daly can be there. She's a bit grossed out. She's wearing a mask, bit of oxygen. And then
Someone's posed a skeleton like that.
Yeah, he can't do much anymore, but he's still charming. You know, he wears a cap, just a bit colour on him. You know, he's obviously the dermatologist at Liverpool have worked the magic. He's got a new set of veneers, which is just really off-putting because everything else is just derelict and falling apart. But he's got these pearly whites, looking like Jurgen Klopp, like.
Great teeth. It's Bruce Forsyth. I watched something for Wimbledon, some Wimbledon coverage years ago, and he was like getting interviewed, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I love this. Everyone's so kind, and you know." And then must have been up on a balcony, and he went, "Watch," and then he went, "Nice to see you," and there was like a crowd of people on the ground underneath, and all those folk just went, "Nice, great," honestly.
Tories, a lot of them. But again, he gets them going, doesn't he? He gets them going, and we need the money coming into London because that's where we are. Okay, so we've Bruce Forsyth in London at the moment. So reanimated Bruce Forsyth, obviously not in his heyday. Tyler, you have got the next one. It is the colour scheme, which is a bit of a weird one. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know why I put it in there. what you have in the color scheme for all the banners, everything, all of the the videos, everything that comes up? What are you going for?
Pink and green.
Pink and green. So almost like Splatoon 3 would be.
What? Splatoon 2?
Spatoon.
Spatoon.
Spatoon. Get it right.
Spatoon.
Can't have a lawsuit, mate.
Spittoon.
Cease and desists on the way.
That's it. Done.
Cease and desist, ironically, just like Brucey. Bruce. Oh, sorry. Okay, and then we've gone colour scheme green and pink. Okay, spin the wheel of cheese, the wheel of cheese, the wheel of cheese. Here it goes again. And she's off. Where's she going to land? Nobody knows.
Determined to get this wheel of cheese thing.
Fine, it's okay. I'm not doing it for anyone else. Tyler, pub/dev attendee 3, and what game are they showing off?
I want to see Cilla Black do a dating sim game set on Jupiter.
Any idea what you call the game?
No, I haven't landed on anything.
Need to think of that. Need to think of these things, Tyler.
Yeah, I should.
Blind
Should
Rate.
thought it through in more detail.
Back showing a dating. Sorry, Sheila back showing a dating game set on Jupiter. On Jupiter. Okay.
There's a name there. There's a name there, probably.
There is a name there. Somebody's got to think of it. Okay, spin the wheel again. Is it me this time or is it you, Lewis? I can't remember. It's you, isn't it?
I think it's me.
Yeah, I think it is as well. Oh, which one's it go? Oh, it's literally right on the line. The drama that the Wheel of Cheese brings us. Okay, pub dev attendee 1, and what game are they showing off?
I mentioned it earlier on. Sam Lake is going to be there, and he's going to be bringing all his Alan Wake 2 goodness with him.
Okay, so Alan Wake 2 is what you want to show off.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. Alan Wake 2 being shown off. Okay, spin that again. Still got plenty on the Wheel of Cheese. We don't know where it's going to land. Where it's going to land, the Wheel of Cheese. And this is my one. So pub dev attendee 2. I've got a choice here. So I'm going to go with Bullfrog, and they're showing off Theme Park Remastered. So they've come back, Bullfrog. They've been reanimated again. That word. Reanimated, and yeah, they're showing that off. The person that's going to show that off for them, I'm bringing her back out, Kerry Katona. I need to use her, so she needs to earn her.
She's up for it.
She really is. Kerry Katona. She is. Tona.
She is keen.
Showing off, keen for the ween. Showing off Bullfrogs. Bullfrog. She's just layering at this point. She's got no idea what's going on. Showing Bullfrog.
Did she still do that? She did Iceland adverts, did she?
Yeah,
She
for a while.
yeah. Until her nose caved in. The remastered. Okay, any other games you guys picked? I also said Microsoft and Fable 4, which is a bit of a vanilla choice. And I said Nintendo and they're showing off. I forgot to write something in there.
I said Intelligent Systems, new Fire Emblem. That's what I said.
Ooh, good choice. Good choice. Anything else, Tyler, on your list?
I'd like to see Nintendo make another Banjo game. Which is never going to happen.
I'm there for that.
No.
It's good. We've got slogan tagline, Food Stand 1 and Food Stand 2, and convention sponsor 2. This is going to be Food Stand 2. Please, Tyler. Who are you going for, Food Stand?
Wagamamas.
Ooh, what are you having from Wagamamas?
I'm pretty dull. I'm going katsu curry.
That's not dull. That's not dull. Katsu curry. You actually say that on stage, and then Kerry Takona goes, "Arr." He said katsu, not Kerry. Katsu Kerry Katona. I've just written that down. We could call it that.
Yeah, it could be the special for the weekend.
It could be. Katsu Kerry Katona. We need to think of that for the next one as well. Good choice. Wagamamas stand and also sponsor as well. We'll let them be a sponsor. Spinning again. We've got slogan, tagline, food stand, and convention sponsor 2. And Lewis gets slogan and tagline. What we going
Slogan
for?
and tagline is "Enter clean, leave stinking."
Oh, brilliant. Any reason for that, or is it just...
I've never been to a convention where that hasn't happened.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, okay. Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for clear advertising, but I don't really think that's going to get...
It's a little too on the nose.
Yeah, literally. The wealthy in London, well, not on Kerry Katonas. I don't think that's going to get the wealthy in London, to buy tickets if you're going to say they're going to come out of that stinking like a CEX.
Stinking.
Yeah.
Just yep.
Not a great sign, is it?
Enter clean, leave stinking.
Okay, I've got either Food Stand 1 or Convention Sponsor 2. Let's see what I'm picking up. I'm going to be getting Food Stand 1. I'm going to go for Jollibees on this one because I think you've got Wagamama's there. I'm going to go for, I think it's Filipino Jollibees, which they add fantastic chicken today. And they also do the Chicken Joy box meals, which are wonderful. And it's a better version of KFC, although the gravy's not as good. So it's a bit catch-22. Okay, there we go.
Is that a Liverpool only thing? I've never heard of them.
No, Jollibees.
No, nor have I.
It's been around since '79, I think, is what they have on their t-shirts. But it's the second. I think they're all over the States as well. Remember rightly?
Oh, okay.
I think there's a couple in London. Second choice for food. Okay, and should we spin the wheel of cheese? Just to get the last one for Tyler to pick the convention sponsor number 2. Who are we getting sponsored by?
We are sponsored by the most legit key site on the internet, G2A.
What?
Thanks for asking that question.
The what?
So G2A are a questionably legitimate place to obtain keys for like anything game related, games, PS Plus, Game Pass, that sort of stuff.
G2.
They're generally G2A. They're generally the cheapest way for getting keys, but there's a lot of questionability about whether they're legit or not.
You're saying it far too quick for me. Spell it for me.
G for golf.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah.
A for alpha.
G2A. Okay. Okay, it's fine. Sponsored by
I thought it
G2A.
was GTI.
I thought it said GTA. It's like sponsored by GTA. It's like he's a bit on the nose with the sponsor there. Lewis, any other sponsors? I had Durex Tingle as well. Not the character from The Legend of Zelda, but the because obviously I was going to get sponsored by Durex to begin with anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Bacon.
a bacon. Okay, yeah, good choice.
And for completeness, my second sponsor was Veggie Bacon.
Nice. Just out of curiosity, what was your tagline, Tyler?
Tagline was the one I couldn't get. Like I'm still not sure. I can't know how serious I could have taken it.
I just went with "Let's fucking have it." Let's fucking have it. Nothing says to me buy a ticket like "Let's fucking have it." What was it?
How about at least it's not Keeley?
At least it's not Keeley. Yeah, not Keeley Fest. That'd be quite good. Yeah. All right, that's the wheel of cheese complete, guys. Like we've just got a nice little white wheel in the middle now.
We didn't name it.
Sure, we can name it.
We didn't name it. That's a good point.
I had Tig Old Bit EastCon, but I think we need to change it now. So I'll give you the answers of everything that we've gone through. Okay. So it's our convention is based in London. It's presented by reanimated Bruce Forsyth. That was like a good Ben impression. Tagline: Enter clean, leave stinking. It's sponsored by G2A. The Rock is going to come out and speak about Free Radical's new game, Time Splitters, which is a remake. The Day One song that he's going to come out to is Friday by Rebecca Black. Jorex is the main sponsor of the event. On day 2, Ronald Nontundo is going to come out on Splatoon 3. He's going to talk about that game. There's going to be a green and pink colour scheme all weekend. Cilla Black will come out, even though she's going to have to be reanimated as well. And she's going to be showing a dating game set on Jupiter. Drops of Jupiter, because then you got a song for that. Now she's back in the atmosphere. Literally, because she's been gone, hasn't she, for a while? So she's come down. From,
Yeah, I like it.
Maybe she can come down on one of those like invisible wires and just get like dropped in a little bit. Jaw might be hanging off, but
Just fucking let her go. Just drop her.
again, that's Scylla, not Kerry Katona again. Sam Lake's going to come out at one point and show off Alan Wake 2. Kerry Katona's going to come out, like we said before, tray full of cocaine, showing Bullfrog's theme park remastered. Food stand, Wagamama's, that's serving the Katsu Kerry Katona for the weekend. And also Jollibee's is the second choice for food, serving their chicken joy meals, which are absolutely fantastic. We will have vegan options and we'll have vegetarian options built into those things as well. You can get the non-meat Kerry. Katsu Kerry. All right, so
Nice.
what are we thinking then, name-wise?
So mine was gonna be called. I'm willing to change it. Initially, it was just gonna be called Stinkerton, but I'm willing to change it to Stinkercon.
It will make sense because we have got a lot of dead people.
Yeah, Stinkerton.
Have you got a name, Tyler?
No, I don't. I've been off vibe this whole time. I'm not on the same wavelength as you guys tonight.
I'm calling it. We're not going to name it right now. We're going to put all of our answers into Discord. Go over to thecrossplayers.com. Click on the Discord link if you haven't already. Go in there and vote for your favourite name. And we'll make sure that your voice is heard, preferably on the next episode. So there we go. Happy with that. I think we smashed it. I think I'd sell. How much would you sell the ticket for?
$5.
Yeah, £5 for the whole
I was
weekend.
thinking more like
Yeah, for the weekend. Camping pass.
camping.
Tyler, how
I was
much?
thinking more like 50, 60 quid, somewhere around there for a 3-day pass.
Go and mingle with dead people.
Well, no, you don't
Come
mingle
with-
with
come with
with presenters.
You could do. Like they may.
You don't go all the way to Gamescom so you can get to high five Jeff Keighley.
Well, now come on, like that's the dream, innit? Not Jeff, but like you do want to go there and you want to see people, don't you? You want to see like
Yeah, you wanna see
there's
people.
That
They need
person,
to
there's
die.
Nolan North. Like you want to.
Yeah, maybe high five Jeff Keighley with a baseball bat.
That's aggressive. That's not on. That's disgusting. He's done nothing wrong, and he was disappointed today. So lay off him. Other people.
Jeff.
Poor Jeff. Other people you should say poor. Poor Mark Hammond. Poor Sarah Perbrick. Poor Luke Cooper. Poor Rebecca Rudranath. Poor Tyler Renoir. Poor Jason Frost. Poor Timothy Ulf. Poor Alina DeSaltles. Poor Carl Hughes. Banned. Poor Sean Hughes. Related. Poor Ethan Hunt. Very tall. Weird head. Poor Kevin Scully. Poor Max Wright. Not even going to go there. Poor Sticky Simpson. Poor Nate Ellingsworth. Poor Rune Storm. If you want to join any of these patrons over at patreon.com/thecrossplayers, head on over there and you can pay as little as £2 a month for all of our wonderful wares, and you will have our eternal grace. And when I say grace, you get to meet Lewis, he gives you a little hug, and you get to go away with his divine grace.
Exactly.
That's exactly why we do what we do. That's
here.
that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Here's a live hug going to happen. Oh, sorry, that was a bit rough.
It's like really shit VR porn. Thank you very much for listening to the rest of our inane ramblings this week. If you're a regular listener, as we said before, head on over to Patreon. If you've not got social links, head on over to twitter.com/thecrossplayers to join us over there. We have got an Instagram, it's pretty shit. You can Discord it. You just go onto the links on thecrossplayers.com and do that kind of stuff. Last but not least, a big love and hug to yourself, Tyler. See how nice that was? Generous.
It's lovely. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dan.
Very, very high pitch there. You weren't expecting that. It's okay. And Lewis, if you ever find that second AirPod. Oh, she's there. What's that on the front?
Right there.
What's that on the front of the case? You got a little. Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
You got a
That's very cool.
tramp stamp on your AirPod case.
Free engraving.
Lewis, where can we find you on a Thursday afternoon?
You can.
Anywhere at all. Okay. Tyler, how about Sunday morning?
Asleep, if I get my way.
People say Tyler's easy, just like a Sunday morning.
Yeah. And you can find me eating eggs on a Friday evening if you head on over to Discord and pay £25 to...
Have you ever had an egg, like a raw egg? Shot it.
No.
Tyler, I'm looking at you. You look like you've maybe done something like that. Like just
No, I've
cracked an egg one-handed in.
just straight down.
Exactly.
No, but I'm just stupid enough for someone to dare me to do it at some point, and it'll just
All right.
happen.
Well,
All right. Go on,
Sounds
Lewis.
like Patreon content right there.
Next patron that signs up, you get to be the person that live streams that with Tyler. Him cracking an egg open on his head.
Yeah.
It's worth the salmonella.
Yeah.
The problem is, if the egg isn't ready, it'll crack my head, not it.
That'd be interesting. Maybe the egg will eat your head.
Yeah.
That'll work. I don't know. Let's wrap this up. Have a good evening and goodbye. Good evening. Good evening.
Bye.